Hi students, never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Today we are going to learn about P block elements, particularly 13th group elements, that is boron family. So we are taking P block elements. P block elements. Okay. And what do you mean by P block? And you know that in the periodic classification, they are classified into 4 blocks. What are they? That is S, P, D and F. Then suppose you know that in the periodic classification, then it is S block and D block, and here it is P block, and here it is F block. What do you mean by these S, P, D and F? These S, P, D and F are called as sub-energy level. Sub-energy level, sub-energy levels, which is known as orbital. So what do you mean by orbital? You know that orbital is a 3-dimensional region of space around the nucleus where the probability of finding electron is maximum. So the probability of finding electron is maximum, then it is known as orbital. Why it is denoted as S, P, D and F? Now in a spectroscopy, the lines are obtained. If the lines are sharp, then it is S orbital. Then P, it is the principal line, then it is P. Then D is diffused line. So diffused line in the spectra, which is known as D, and F is nothing but fundamental line. So the fundamental line, which is known as F. So these are all called as orbital. Okay. Now what is the definition of P block elements? The last electron enters in P orbital are called as P block elements. So the last electron or the valence electron enters in P orbital, which is known as P block element. Suppose if the last electron enters in S orbital, then it is S block. Then the last electron enters in D orbital, then it is D block. Then the last electron enters in D block, then it is known as, that is P block elements. Now you know that Pauli's exclusion principle. So according to Pauli's principle, what is that? No two electron can have same sets of 4 quantum number. It is nothing but Pauli's exclusion principle, or otherwise a orbital has only 2 electron. And it is in opposite spin. Suppose we may take S orbital. And how many S orbital is there? Only one orbital. Then if it is P, then it is 3 orbital. If it is D, then it is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 orbital. F, then it is 7 orbital. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 7 orbitals are there. Now maximum number of electron in S orbital. If it is S, then it is 2. It is 1 and 2 according to Pauli's exclusion principle. Orbital has only 2 electron. Orbital has only 2 electron with the opposite spin. If it is p orbital, it is 3 orbital is there, that is px, py and py and pz, so that there is a 6 electron, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6. First singlet and after that doublet according to Hund's rule. Then if it is d orbital, there is 10 electron. What is that? 10 electron. It is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. If it is f orbital, there is totally 14 electron. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Okay. Listen, maximum number of electron in s orbital, which is nothing but 2. So s block elements is splitted into 2. It is ns1 and ns2. So s orbital is grouped into 2. So that is first and second group in the periodic table. First and second group in the periodic table, which is known as s block. Now d orbital, what is it? It is 10 electrons. So that group number 3 to 12. Group number 3 to 12. They are called as d block elements. D block elements. Now group number 13 to 18. They are called as p block elements. So what is the definition of p block? Why it will be separated into 6 groups, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18? Because maximum number of electron in p orbital, which is 6, so that p block elements is grouped into 6. If it is 2, then it is 2. Then how many groups in d orbital? That is good. It is 10. So it will be, that is 3 to 12, 10 groups are there. Then how many groups in, that is f orbital? There is 14. So 14 groups are there. So in the periodic table, last electron is enters in p orbital, and group number 13 to 18 are called as p block elements. Now what is the speciality of p block elements? Listen, here s block, all the s block and d block, all are metals. All are metals. But in this p block, it consists of metal and non-metal and metalloids. So both metal and non-metal and metalloids are present in that p block. Okay. Now we are taken only that 13th group elements. 13th group elements. So the 13th group elements, listen, here we are taken, it is 13th group elements. 13th group elements. What are 13th group elements? And 13th group elements are called as, that is icosagens. What is that? It is icosagens. What is that? Icosagens. And you know that in hydrocarbon, methane, ethane, propane, likewise, up to 10 it is decane. Then if it is 20, then icosane. So in chemistry, these icos means 20. Icos means 20. Okay. Why it is called as icosagens? That means here the first element in 13th group, that is boron, is present in that icosahedron. It is the structure of icosahedron, which has 20 phases, so that we may call this icosagens. And here, according to Mendeleev, these 13th group elements are called as third A group. So third group elements. So the 13th group elements, what are the elements consist of? That is boron and aluminum and gallium indium and thallium. Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium, and the newly discovered elements, that is niconium, it is NH. It is niconium. Okay. Then we may take that here its electronic configuration, boron, it is 5. So that here its electronic configuration, it is helium, then it is 2s2 and 2p1. 2s2 and 2p1. And if you are taken aluminium, and here it is 13, so that here neon 3s2 3p1, 3s2 3p1, and gallium, it is argon 3d10 4s2 4p1, 3d10 4s2 4p1. Now, if it is indium, it is krypton. So, it is krypton, and it is 4d10 5s2 5p1, and thallium, it is xenon 4f14 5d10 6s2 and 6p1. Okay. Now, we may take the electronic configuration. This is the general electronic configuration. General electronic configuration. What is it? It is ns2 np1. ns2 np1. So, here only the n number is differentiated down the group. Here 2 2, 3 3, 3 and 4 4, 5 5, 6 6, like this. So, down the group, the number of electron is accommodated in that outermost orbital. They will be vary only that this n is nothing but principal quantum number. Principal quantum number. So, principal quantum number. So, all the outermost electronic configurations are same. Electronic configurations are same. They will be differ only by the n, that is principal quantum number. Okay. So, the general electronic configuration of icosagens or 13th group element is ns2 np1. Now, we may define p block. Listen. The last electron enter in p orbital, which is known as p block elements. So, in all the cases, the last electron enters in p orbital. Last electron enters in p orbital, so that it is known as p block elements. So, we may take that the 13th group electronic configuration in p block elements. Okay. Now, we may take that the variation of properties in the p block elements. And generally, you know that the atomic size and ionization energy and electron affinity, the general trend in periodic classification. What is that atomic size? Atomic size down the group increases. Atomic size down the group increases. Okay. And ionization energy and electron affinity down the group decreases, but it varies some ways. It does not give the normal trend. Gives that normal trend, it varies some ways. So, how the variation occurs? We take it. Now, we may take then the first one, occurrence. Occurrence is nothing but abundance. And among this, which one is the most abundant element in the earth crust? We are take, that is boron and aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium. And you know that what is the first most abundant in the earth crust? Do you know that? It is oxygen. It is nothing but oxygen. So, oxygen is the first most abundant. Oxygen is the first most abundant element in the earth crust. And what is the second most abundant in the earth crust? If it is second most abundant, is nothing but silicon. How it is first most? and most of them that is water, and oxygen is present in air at a 28%. Then silicon in the form of sand. So here that is third most abundant is nothing but aluminum, and it constitutes these elements. So third most abundant element in the earth crust is aluminum. So it is most abundant element in the earth crust. Boron, it is a rare elements. Boron is a rare elements. All are, it is only in traces. Now, what are the ores of boron? We are taking boron. Boron is occur in a salt of boric acids. And the ores, what do you mean by ore? We can easily extract it from the element, that is ore. So here it is borax. What is that? Borax. The formula Na2B4O7. Na2B4O7, and it is hydrated salt, that is .10H2O. Then it is borax. Then the second one, it is kernite. What is that? Kernite. The same borax formula, it is Na2B4O7.4H2O. It is kernite. Then the third one, it is boric acid. And it is used in eye drops and antiseptic, that is H3BO3. Then the fourth one, it is colemanite. What is that? Colemanite. So it is colemanite. Then Ca3B6O11.2H2O. It is colemanite. So the ores of boron is borax and kernite and boric acid and colemanite. Now, in 10th standard, you know that aluminum and its extraction. So what are the ores of aluminum? So ores of aluminum. So the first one, aluminum is extracted from the ore bauxite. What is that? Bauxite. So that here it is bauxite. So bauxite is Al2O3.2H2O is bauxite. Then the second one, that is cryolite. So cryolite is Na3Al(F6). Na3Al(F6) is cryolite. And the third one, it is corundum. What is that? Corundum is nothing but anhydrous bauxite, is nothing but Al2O3 alone. So bauxite, cryolite and corundum are the ores of aluminum, and the chief and the cheapest ore is bauxite. From that we may extracted aluminum, and you know that in 10th standard. Okay. Now we may take that variation of properties. Listen. The p-mark elements, particularly 13th group element, there is variation in general trends. Suppose first one we may take that is atomic size. Atomic size. What do you mean by atomic size? Atomic size is nothing but the distance between the center of the nucleus and to the outermost electron. Suppose we may take that it is a nucleus. And the electron here. So the distance between the center of the nucleus and that outermost electron, which is known as atomic size. Now, atomic size down the group, what will happen? Atomic size down the group. So down the group it is increases. Down the group it is increases. Why it is increases? because the number of electron is added is to the next electronic level. You know that in the electronic configuration also we may take that n will be varying. So here additive electrons are added to that next electronic level, so that atomic size increases. Atomic size increases. So here additive electron, what is it? The last electron, it is 2s and 2 second orbit, the additive electrons is going to attached. Now it is third orbit and it is fourth orbit and fifth orbit and sixth orbit. So if you are taken, it is a nucleus and it is first orbit. So the distance is smaller, and it is second orbit. It is first orbit and the second orbit. So the distance is increases. Then it is third orbit. Distance is increases, and fourth orbit. So it is third and fourth. So distance is increases. So down the group, additive electrons are added to that the next electronic level, so that atomic size generally increases down the group. So we may expect it, what is that? We are expected that is boron is highest size. Boron is highest size. And down the group atomic size increases, so it is least one. So boron and aluminum and gallium and indium and thallium. So it is the expected order. So expected order, atomic size down the group increases, so thallium is highest. But what will happen here? We may take, there is the deviation in aluminum and gallium. And in the case of aluminum, what is it? Aluminum electronic configuration, it is neon, then it is 3s2 3p1, 3s2 3p1. Then in the case of gallium, it is argon, then 3d10 4s2 4p1. This is the electronic configuration of aluminum and gallium. Then what will happen here? It is d orbital. What is that? D orbital. And due to poor shielding effect, so poor shielding effect of d orbital, gallium has a smaller size than that of aluminum. So the real is, that is boron, after that gallium and aluminum and indium and thallium. So the real order is somewhat varied, that is gallium, aluminum, indium, thallium, but the expected order is boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium. Then what is it? Shielding effect. So atomic size has a small variation, so the real order of atomic size is boron, and after that it is gallium and aluminum and indium and thallium. So why this is? Because poor shielding effect of d orbital. So what do you mean by shielding effect? Shielding effect. What is that shielding effect? Listen, if you are taken, it is a nucleus. It is a nucleus, and it is first orbital electron and the second orbital electron and the third orbital electron. So that here in the case of gallium, it is 3d10 4s2. So it is 3d10 and 4s2 and 4p1. So the last electron, it is a last electron. So the last electron experiences nuclear charge. The last electron experiences some nuclear charge, so that the electron is bound to nucleus. Now it will be shielded by this d orbital, and you know that the shape of d orbital is diffused. Diffused means larger. So the nuclear charge is easily pass through that d orbital, so that here it experiences a very high nuclear charge. Very high nuclear charge. So that here the shielding effect is nothing but the last electron is shielded by that inner shell electron. Then it is known as shielding effect. So here the orbital we are taken, that is s, p, d and f. Which one has greater shielding effect? Why? S orbital has greater shielding effect. S orbital has greater shielding effect. Why? Because of its shape. So s orbital has, that is a spherical in shape, so that it cannot be allow the nuclear charge to pass through them. Then you know that p orbital has dumbbell in shape. P orbital has dumbbell in shape. So it is dumbbell in shape and it is spherical in shape. So that here some nuclear charge can be allowed to pass through them by p orbital. And d orbital is a clover leaf. What is that? It is a clover leaf shape. So it is a clover leaf shape. So most of the nuclear charge is passed through that d orbital, so that it has poor shielding effect. And f orbital is a diffused shape, so that it has very poor shielding effect. So these two are as experiences poor shielding effect. Poor shielding effect. Okay. So due to poor shielding effect, the expected order is changed into the real one. Gallium has least size than that of aluminum. Okay. Now we may take the next property. It is metallic property. Metallic and non-metallic property. Metallic and non-metallic character. So metallic and non-metallic character, and you know that here boron and aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium. Then carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. Tin and that lead. Then nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. And fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. And here helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. This is nothing but p block elements. How will you identify the metal and non-metal in p block? This is a simple one. Listen, if you take, it is p block elements, we are taking the group wise. So it is 13th group, 14th group, 15th, 16th and 17. And here it is the periods. It is a period. Okay. Now what to do? And we may take, listen, a simple trick here from boron. We may take the steps. Here we are taking that the steps. Likewise, that's all. This is the steps. Then below the steps, these are all metals. These are all metals. Below the steps, these are all metals. Above the steps, they are non-metals. These are all non-metals. So below the steps, it is metal. Above the step, it is non-metal. Okay. Now here we may take that is below the steps, it is metal, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium and germanium, tin, lead, antimony and bismuth and polonium. These are all metals. So these are all metals and non-metals. Now here we may take silicon and germanium, arsenic and antimony and tellurium. These are all metalloids. What is that? Metalloids. What is that metalloids? Then it have both the property metals and non-metals, so that they are called as semi-metals. So we may identify metal. So now in that 13th group, which one is metal? That is, boron is a non-metal. Boron is a non-metal. And remaining all are gallium, indium, thallium and aluminum, all are, it is metal. So here we may take that metal and that non-metal in both, that is p block elements. Okay. And the next property, it is the third one, it is ionization energy. Ionization energy. So ionization energy. What do you mean by ionization energy? The amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bounded electron, which is known as ionization energy. And you know that in 13th group, the general electronic configuration is ns2 np1. ns2 np1. Now, if you are taking that, it is m is a metal or that non-metal. Now, one of the electron will be removed by losing of electron, then it will be get m plus, then it is first ionization potential. First ionization potential, it is IP1. Then one more electron is lost. One more electron is lost and a metal become that 2 plus cation, and it is nothing but the second ionization potential. Second ionization potential. And one more electron will be lost, then it is m3 plus ion, then it is IP3. So it is third ionization potential. Listen, if you take first ionization potential is nothing but we may remove this np1 electron, then we are getting that m plus, then it is first ionization potential. Then second ionization potential is nothing but we are removing the electron from ns orbital. We are removing the electron from ns orbital, so it is second ionization potential. And one more electron is removed, then it is third ionization potential. Then what is the general trend in ionization potential? You know that ionization energy decreases down the group. It is a general trend. So we may take that ionization energy decreases down the group. It is the general trend. General trend. So general trend, it is ionization energy decreases down the group. But in the case of boron family, some variation is occur. So what is the expected order? Expected order is, that is, boron has highest ionization energy, and aluminum and gallium and indium and thallium. Boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium. It is the expected order. But there is a variation. If you are taking that gallium, and you know that in the electronic configuration it is 3d10. 3d10. And it is 4d10. But in the case of thallium, it is 4f14. So inner shells are 3d10 and 4f14. And you know that the shielding effect order. So what is the shielding effect? So shielding effect order is F as poor shielding effect. What is that? S, P and D and that F. So F has poor shielding effect. So the order is changed so that the real order is first boron, and after that it is thallium, boron, and after that thallium, and after that it is gallium and aluminum and that indium. So it is the correct order of ionization potential. That is, it is first ionization potential, IP1. First ionization potential order is boron, thallium, gallium, aluminum and that indium due to poor shielding effect of D and F orbital. Okay. Now, if you take the second ionization potential and the third ionization potential. So, the second ionization potential, listen, it is boron, aluminum, gallium, indium and thallium. It is zigzag manner. First, it is increases, decreases, increases, decreases. So we can easily remember that is in a zigzag manner, increases, decreases, increases, decreases. The same way we are take that is boron, aluminum, gallium, indium and thallium, then it is third ionization potential, the same order. Okay. So among that 13th group element, which one shows highest ionization potential? So here for boron, sum of IP1 and IP2 and IP3 as very high, very high. So what happened? So due to very high ionization potential, boron cannot exist as B3 plus ion. So here boron cannot exist as B3 plus ion, B3 plus ion. So that B3 plus ion is not formed, so it is forced to covalent bond. So it is forced to covalent bond. So boron 3 plus ion is not formed. Why? It is an important question. Why boron 3 plus ion is not formed? Because some of the ionization potential of boron is very high, so that it can't lose all those electrons, so that it will be forced to covalent bond. But we are taking that aluminum and gallium. Here aluminum and gallium. In its compound AlCl3 and GaCl3 are covalent. It is covalent in anhydrous state. Anhydrous state. Anhydrous means without water. So anhydrous state it is covalent. If it is aqueous solution, the same compounds, it is ionic in aqueous solution. Ionic in aqueous solution. Why this will happen? Because in an aqueous solution, hydration energy is compensated the ionization energy. So what is that? Here there is hydration energy. Hydration energy is compensated the ionization energy, so that these compounds are ionic in aqueous solution, and in anhydrous solution it is covalent in nature. So it is the ionization potential.